Hello, per your request, I am going to show you a quick daily routine that will give you a brightened, lifted look. So I'm going to take it step by step. I'm going to show you the brushes that I use and also the products that are used and possibly some products that you can use in replace of what I'm using, because some of the items that I use is part of my Yellow Rose cosmetic line that may or may not be available for purchase. So let's get started. First thing we do is we work on the brow. The brow, you're going to get a brow brush, double-sided. One side it is angled, the other side has the spoolie. I love this brush. It's one and done. I like to brush up. Now what you will see is during this video I'm going to be going back and forth between the camera and my mirror because I cannot really see myself in this camera. Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to brush the brow up. I like to brush the hairs upward into positions. Always helpful if you've already had your eyebrows arched or waxed, but if not, you can also create the illusion with the pencil or the powder. I use powder for my brow. It's Yellow Rose powder. You can use any type of powder, whether it's eyeshadow. They have or sell brow powder in Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, all of those places, Ulta, Sephora. You can get brow powder. Let's get started. So for those who are new to trying to create a brow, the best thing to do is to follow the outline of your brow that you have. If you do not have an outline, if it's not defined, then you'll just go ahead and shade in hair. So I'm showing you both methods. This method is just shading in the hair, right? And that's moving the brush upward. You're moving it upward in the direction of the hair. And already you have a filled in brow. Now you'll see here in this area where it's not really defined. So to define that is you take your brush and you just do like an outline at the top. And we've defined it. Now you have a nice brow. Nice natural looking brow. Minimal work. I'm going to bring it in a little bit more for my liking. So my hair starts there. There. Minimal work. That's one way. The other way, you can actually outline, as I mentioned, the shape of the brow underneath. So you go underneath and you create the line underneath. To the shape. And then you create the line above. It's literally like coloring, like outlining your picture. When we were little, we used to do the outline, right? And then you just, might be still some powder on the brush. You just shade it in. Now, if you look at the difference, this one's giving you more natural, right? Like, when I say natural, you can see the outlines, you can see the hair strokes. This one is giving you more polish. So this would be a nice night look. Like if you're going and you're glamming up your night, this one is a nice night look. For both, we're still going to brush the powder through. I like powder, and the reason I like powder is it provides more control of product placement for me. Again, makeup is subjective, so you have to practice and find ways that works best for you. But for me, powder helps me with product placement, and it helps to minimize mistakes. And those mistakes that are made, it's easier to clean up because it's just powder. Next, I'm going to clean up the brow. I personally like to clean up the brow. You can leave it like this if you choose. I like to clean up the brow with a concealer. I'll find a concealer that's either my shade or a shade lighter, flat brush, or you can use an angled brush. I take the product, I just dab a little on my hand, And then we just outline it like we did before. Like we did when we did the brow. Boom. And that just cleans it up. It is not a necessity. It's just what I like to do extra to give a nice, sharp, clean brow look. I'll do it underneath and I'll do it above. And then I just drag any product that's there down. And then I'll go above and do the same. Best way to do above is to lay the brush flat and then just guide down with one swoop. Any mistakes that are made, you can clean up. And I like to just take a little fluffy brush and just push the product in. Make it nice and clean. All right, next, once you've done this, you're gonna do your foundation. You're just gonna put your foundation everywhere. Okay, so you've applied your foundation. Now, there was a step that I didn't show you, and that's because I'm not looking to really prime my face. But it is good to prime your face before you put on your foundation. It helps for your foundation and your makeup to last longer. A primer that I use, which is actually also a toner, it's called Meron Skin Prep. It is a professional primer. It is mattifying, so it helps for oily skin, but it also helps to, if you're a sweater, it helps as a barrier for the sweat and the oil. Now, you can purchase primers from Walgreens, CVS, Popular Primers, e.l.f. products, they have a primer. NYX, there are primers everywhere that you can purchase, but it is good to prime your skin before you apply your foundation. All right, so next we have now that we have our foundation on, we're gonna go ahead and just highlight under the eye just a tad. You're gonna get a concealer that's one shade lighter than your normal complexion. I like to use e.l.f. And the shade lighter that I'm going with is Deep Chestnut. Now with the e.l.f. Deep Chestnut, you're going to apply your concealer here under the eye, like so, and then up like that to lift the eye. Here, and then up. Here, and then up. That right there lifts your eye. It gives you a lifting. And that's where we're going to apply it. You're going to get you a beauty blender. It's a little dirty. Or a brush. I like this brush because it fits the shape of my under eye. And you're going to press the product in. You're not moving it. You're not doing all of that. You're just pressing the product into your skin. You see how it's lifting my eye? I like to move this over to the top of the eye. Voila. We opened up the eye. And we're going to do this side. If you were using your beauty blender, you can use the flat side and you're just pushing the product in. Voila. Brighten look. Open up the eye. Brighten look. open up the eye. Again, the shade that I used for me was Deep Chestnut. It's e.l.f. Black top is for the mattifying. The white top that they have is hydrating, okay? So now that you've done this, you want to set your powder. Okay, to set under my eye, usually as a makeup artist, I use loose powder, but I'm going to show you pressed powder. So this is Maybelline Fit Me. This is in 3/3. So take that. These are really, really helpful. These powder puffs. And you're just going to tap it under the eye to set it. And set a little over your lid. Like that. That's you setting it. That allows it to stay in place and not move. You could take this same powder with your powder brush and set the rest of your face. Because you've used liquid, right? Any liquid you use, you want to set it so it doesn't move. Okay? Bam, you're done. Next, we're going to do our eyes, and I'm going to show you a little trick on contouring your nose, but it's not a necessity. For my eyes, I like to use a contour powder. This is by Black Radiance. You can get this again from Walgreens, CVS. So you can do that, or you can do an eyeshadow that's dark in color, whichever one you choose. Get a fluffy eyeshadow brush, dip into the shadow, and then just windshield wipe. And you're just doing that to both eyes. No specific placement. You're just going to place this contour powder or your brown powder all over your eye. Next, you're going to take you a blush. I'm going to use this one. I also like to use cream blushes. And you're going to pretty much highlight this area. So I'm going to take this blush and I'm going to tap. Ooh, that went on strong. If it goes on like that, you just move to the other side. And then you can get your powder brush and fix that. So in the meantime, we're just going to buff that in. And I like to cover all of this area, the high points of your cheekbone, all the way down, almost all this area right above the bottom of your cheekbone, right? This is where we're going with this powder. And we're just doing circular motions. And I like to bring it all to the temple. Back to the cheek. Same on this side. To the temple. Back to the cheek. All right. Tap in a little bit more. As you see, it blended out really nice. Scary at first, but it blended out really nice. We're going to tap in a little bit more. Circular motion to the temple and back down. Temple, back down. Gonna go back into the same contour powder and get a fluffy brush, the bridge of our brow, like that, right? Bridge of the brow, like that, right? Bridge of the brow, down here. Always start at the bridge of the brow and come down. And this is how you contour your nose. And then you just push the product in. And my brush, for the record, it's angled. You can't really tell, but it is an angled fluffy brush. And then we're just gonna, now I like to bring this down here into an angle to the tip of my nose. And that will give some definition in my nose. And you take your beauty blender and you just push. And again, I'm tapping. I'm not rubbing. Now to give definition in the nose. But if you like to play with color a little bit, for instance, say you're wearing green, you get your eyeshadow palette. This one is the Yellow Rose Cosmetics. I'm going to go in with the green eyeshadow. This is an angled brush, and I'm going to, I have to look over here. I'm going to highlight like right under here. Just right there. A little touch of color. See if I can come closer. And then I will take maybe a brown and finish it off. A brown shadow. And finish it off. That would be my eye look. Next, you want to put your mascara on. All right, on both eyes. So you have your mascara on. You can go like this, depending on your lash. But I'm gonna show you a strip lash today, okay? Now I'm going to have to look in my mirror for this one, but we're gonna use eyelash glue by Kiss, but it's black and it looks like an eyeliner. I like to apply this to the lid like an eyeliner, like a liquid eyeliner. I hope you can see that. So definitely can't do that in the camera. Like such, like so. And I do that to both eyes. For beginners trying to apply lashes, I think this is the best way. And reason being is because, first of all, it's a black liner. It dries quickly. If you put the glue on the lash, you have to wait and let the glue get sticky, and then you have to pay attention to your placement. Whereas if you put the glue on the lid and it's black, any areas that you may miss, as you'll probably see in this, you won't be able to tell. So you'll take your lash, you'll have already measured it to your face. Not all lashes fit your face. You're gonna measure it to your eye. Not all lashes fit your eye. You wanna measure it. And then I take tweezers, hold it to the center, and then I look downward and I just place the center. Right on the center. Once the center is on, then I move the lash around. Ooh. And put the lash where the glue is located. I don't know if you can see it. You just put the lash right where the glue is located. And you're just adjusting it around at this point. Okay. If there's any spacing, you won't see it as much because of the black liner. And that's also the importance of putting the mascara on first. Put it in the center. Let it sit. Grab the lash and adjust it where you want it to be. All right? Ta-da! You have lashes. And they're on. Your lashes are on. Her lash really completes the look. Who are you kidding? We're just gonna do a highlight. I like this NYX highlighting stick. I also have loose highlighting powder. It's Yellow Rose. I put it on the tip and down the middle. You can even do the corners if you want. All right. I use my pinky, rub the tip in, rub down the middle. And that gives a nice little glow. You can do that above the cheek if you want. Right on the bone, your cheekbone. At the high points right here to the edge of the eye. See? And with your finger, or you can use a nice little brush. So this is pretty much your final look. The only two things you're gonna do, you're gonna apply your lip and you're gonna apply your setting spray. You know, this line from Dollar General, I love it. It's called Believe. You can't see it that well. Believe. This is a setting spray. You put your setting spray on first before you put on your mascara, bottom mascara. Reason being is if you put the bottom mascara on first and then your setting spray, it can smear. Put the setting spray on first, let it dry down, and then you go in and put it on your bottom mascara. I'm not putting any on for this video, but if you choose to, you can put the bottom mascara on. And now it's just time for your gloss or your lip, whatever lip you want to use. For recording purposes, we're just going to use a Yellow Rose lip gloss. And that's my look. I hope you enjoy. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Deuces.